Yeah. Yeah. And we back. It's Friday, man. Day after 4th of July. Back to work. I was off for like 6 days, man. I needed some time off, you know what I mean? Hold on, let me fix the camera. A little camera action, little fresh haircut action too. Let me get another sip of that. Woo! We back. Let's go. Damn. Ready, man. I don't want to go. It's Friday. Shut the fuck up. We back in this bitch. Time to get that cheddar. Anyway, this is that damn camera, son. All right. I'm gonna answer a few questions. On the way to work. Somebody asked me, "Hey, MRI man, how important is anatomy? How important is anatomy? Are you kidding me right now? That's like telling a mechanic how important is it to know like where the transmission is, what the engine is, what the radiator is, where the brakes are, the calipers. Like, knowing anatomy is so goddamn important in MRI. You have to know the anatomy, like what you're looking at, what you're scanning. I know when you start to get into like smaller, tissues and bones, like in the hands, the feet, it gets a little complicated. But if you're ever done yourself, you can pull it up on your phone or whatever and just check it out, review it. But you see these things every day, so it becomes natural. You know what I mean? But yeah, anatomy is super important. And so in this video, I'm also going to talk about some student tips for MRI students or rad tech students. And then at the end, I'll give you a little story on how I used to hang out with Dr. Dre's son back when I lived in the San Fernando Valley out there, LA County. But yeah, man, with the anatomy thing, it's super simple. All you really got to do is just, on your breaks at work or whenever you have time, I suggest actually printing out pictures of anatomy that have labels on it, or have a book of anatomy and just kind of like study one section at a time, one area at a time. If you're looking at the brain, look at that all day. Looking at the abdomen, look at that all day. I don't really suggest your phone because it's easily distracted on your phone. So if you have it printed, you can just have it like unfolded, look at it at work, be like, all right, liver or gallbladder, you know what I mean? And just do that, and stay with that. My tips for you students out there. I know some of you students are, I had a guy message me saying, oh, what do I do? I'm intimidated, and by all the courses ahead, I'm stressing it. All you can do is focus on what's on your plate currently. Don't look so far ahead. Don't worry about that. Just like, I think about it like at UFC fighters. They interview them and they're like, oh, how you feel, about your fight coming up. You may fight for the title. Like, what do you think about that? And they're like, I'm just focused on my opponent that I have coming up now. I'm locked into that. So if you're doing anatomy right now, be locked into that. Don't be watching physics videos, confusing yourself and stuff like that. Don't do that. Just focus on what you're on your plate now. Don't worry about what am I going to do when I'm in clinicals and I have to work. That's going to throw you off your game. So focus on what is on your plate. Simple as that. That's what I did. If you don't get it, read it again, read it again, read it again. Just keep repetitive, dog. Like, you want this shit to be like just normal. Like, you look at certain anatomy, you want it to just click like that. Like you're looking at, whatever, looking outside, you know what I mean? Looking at random things. But anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, man, let me tell you about the story. Many years ago, when I was like, fuck, dude, I was probably like 18, 19. Just hanging out with the homies in the valley, San Fernando Valley. And I was on the west side of the valley, which is, it's nicer over there. You got like, you know, up in the hills, West Hills, and you got fucking like Calabasas, and I don't know, all that shit over there, man. Hidden hills. But anyway, through one of my homies, Oscar, he knew a bunch of people, and he knew this guy, Nima. Nima was this Persian dude that was just, his family was just balling, just like hella balling, like just crazy amount of money. He didn't have to worry about work or anything. He just wanted to party. And I don't know, I became friends with him. And then he drove like a Range Rover. All these rich kids on the west side of the valley drove like crazy cars like that. And he's only like 18. I think he might have been younger than me. Yeah, probably like 18 something. But anyway, this motherfucker was like, oh, I can't drive my car. I got tickets, and everybody had a fucking ticket. You know what I mean? Oscar can fucking drive. He could drive, but he didn't have a car. So I was the only one with a fucking car. Well, I was like, dude, I have a fucking Honda Civic. You know what I mean? And by the way, me, Nima, Oscar, and some other people, I don't know, I call them comic. We went to one of my first festivals, by the way, before I forget about that. We went to Rock the Bells, and fucking Rage Against the Machine was there. They had come back, and like a bunch of other fucking people were there. It was fucking epic. Wu-Tang Clan, Cypress Hill. And yeah, that was around when I was 19. That was epic. Anyway, Nemo was like, hey, let's go pick up Dre or whatever. I was just like, fuck is that? Like, and then my homie kind of pulled me aside. He's like, yeah, this is Dr. Dre's son, Andre Jr. You know what I mean? He was around our age. And I was like, holy shit. Like, literally, like, Dr. Dre was like, one of the Chronic 2001, that was like my shit. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of like really, really started getting into that hip hop, like all the way in. I had always listened to it as a kid, but I was like fully invested in that album. And like, Aftermath, Eminem, and I was a fucking huge fan of Dr. Dre at the time. Still am, but I was just like a super fan. I would follow every album, follow every artist. So I was like, holy shit. Like, in my head, I was like, damn, like, it's crazy. So we go pick him up, big ass fucking house. And I guess this was, this wasn't actually Dr. Dre's house, but it was like his baby mom's house or whatever. I don't know. I guess at the time, maybe, I don't know if it was his ex-wife or, anyway, it was just one of his houses, but they're like, yeah, Dr. Dre's not there. He's in the studio. Apparently, like, there's another area, and that fool's always working. You know what I mean? Hard at work. Anyway, we pick him up. This motherfucker can't drive either. He got like a DUI or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, I pick him up. As soon as I pick him up, he has a CD. And he's like, I got this shit right here. Check it out. And he's like, this is some shit you guys never heard. My dad gave me this. He starts playing it. And it's like some crazy ass shit. Like, there were some songs with Lil Wayne on it. And I was just like, what the fuck? Lil Wayne worked with Dr. Dre. Like, I was tripping out. Crazy ass beats I never heard till this day. And I was just like, damn, just dope. I was like, hey, let me borrow the CDs. He's like, nah, I don't need that back, man. I was like, damn. That shit was dope. And, Dre was a cool guy, man. He was just like us, like, basically. He just wanted to hang out and be, like, around normal motherfuckers, real motherfuckers like us. And, yeah, man, I went to parties with him and hung out with him. And me and him became really cool. Like, we would be hanging out. And I never like, with this whole people being celebrities and stuff like that, especially if I meet a celebrity that's like, I'm not saying he's a celebrity, but his dad, but any connection to that, I don't really like, I never fan out, and I never bother these people, you know what I mean? I only talk to them if the opportunity comes. The most I'll say is, hi, what's up? Other than that, if they don't engage with me, I don't even fucking try. But I will acknowledge them that, hey, how's it going? What's up? You know what I mean? So I wasn't harassing this guy like, hey, what's up with your dad? And, what can we meet him? And I was just like, if it happens, it happens. But yeah, man, never asking for money, none of that shit. As a matter of fact, when we went to the liquor store, I would fucking pay for this motherfucker. But we became really cool, man. We were always like, talking and talking about music and shit. Because I used to make some beats and stuff back in the day too, and like we were making beats. But I just remember, waking up one day and they're like, oh, Dre fucking overdosed, or he passed away. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. The thing is like, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like, I don't know all the people that were around him, but like, he would be trying to party like hard sometimes, and everyone around him would say yes, and I would be like, nah, dude, I'm good right now. It's fucking afternoon. They're coming out with bags of like that powder, like huge bags, like huge, like crazy, like they look like fucking half a kilo or something. I was just like, you guys are fucking crazy. I was like, it's 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. Like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? I was always like, nah, I'm good. And these fools would be getting fucked up sometimes, not all the time, but I wasn't around them all the motherfucking time. But generally, I think he was a good guy, man. I think he was just lost a bit, and we were all kind of lost at that age, But I kept talking to him though. I was like, dude, you need to do something, bro. Like, you have all the opportunities. He's like, yeah, my dad's willing to pay for my college. He was talking about getting into like some kind of gaming or making video games or something like that. I was like, yeah, why don't you just go for that, dude? Like, like, come on, bro. But we don't know what people go through, and how life is hard sometimes. But man, yeah, I do wish that he was still around, because he was a good friend, man. Besides like him being linked to a celebrity, I didn't even care at that. After a point, it was just like he was just hanging out, and he was never flashy. He would never show off shit. I remember he had these like dirty ass Chucks. And I'll be like, bro, like, when are you going to get some new shoes, man? I was like, this shit's crazy. But he would just dress like us, Same shit. And he was down, too. He took us to a few parties. And I remember, Jermaine, one of the Jacksons. I'm talking about Michael Jackson's brother's houses. Oh, it was like Jermaine Jackson or some shit. I was a little lit. And, we're around a bunch of rich motherfuckers, man. I think it was a crazy ass party. There was a lot of celebrities there. And I just remember seeing one of, Run DMC, pause for a second. My bad, dude. Reverend Run. His daughter, I forgot her name, damn it, Angela Simmons or something like that. One of his daughters, dude. She was there, and it was just a bunch of motherfuckers there, and I was like, this shit is fucking crazy. I was being cool, man. It was just my homies, for whatever reason, they wanted to fight. I was like, come on, dude. Like, he was getting us in around those people, and it was like, these motherfuckers wanted to fight, and I was like, you guys are idiots. And, I was kind of like, I had my homies' backs, but at the same time, I was just like, man, I'm trying to like be cool with these people, man. They're doing really cool things, having dope parties, and trying to make some connections. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We didn't get invited to any more fucking parties, obviously. Dre's like, I can't take you motherfuckers anywhere. Anyway, that's like one of my celebrity stories. And I missed the fucking time. They went to a club. I didn't go because I didn't really fuck with clubs. But I guess since fucking Dr. Dre showed up, I wasn't fucking there. God damn it. Anyway, like, subscribe. You already know. If you want to support me, check out the MRI Man Etsy store. I'll holler at you guys later. If you got any questions, let me know down below. Other than that, have a good Friday, good weekend. Stay safe out there. We out. Peace.